Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, I mean, a lot of insight to be gathered, I think, from just that entire death segment, to be honest. Especially with a coaching interview and talking about what went wrong. Like Coach Adam kind of detailing, you know, for KRU, okay, we've lost maps before, we're going to lose maps in the future. Time to look forward to the second map, Pearl, which they know that they're good at. They've definitely been fronting some teams on it before. So it's a good opportunity for KRU to bounce back. But my question is, EG picked it, right?
Yeah, they know something is going on here.
Exactly. What is the plan for EG? What trap have they laid out? What moves are they going to be making?
Well, they know that KRU are going to be playing this composition. This is what they ran last time. It's also where they absolutely smoked 2G after they came back in that game, after losing on Ascent in a bit of unexpected fashion. And here we see a similar composition to something that EG have run before. But if I'm not mistaken, Ye and Icy swapping roles.
Yeah.
So this is a return for Ye back onto the Jet, away from running the Phoenix and the Yoru and the stuff that he's been playing more of that kind of flash duelist role. But a lot of emphasis is going to be on that duelist duo to really be on fire. And the only slight concern I have is that Ye was actually one of the only players that wasn't frying in map 1. So he's going to have to hit some nice form, recover the memories of back when he was a dominant Jet player in kind of 2021, so it's a long, long time ago.
A while ago.
But if we get Masters Berlin level Ye out on the server, then who knows, we might have another dominant map. But this series could still go anywhere from this point. It's hard to believe that we're going to see exactly the same again.
KRU themselves tripled up towards Kesnet, pure disrespect. Up towards B long, there's no pushback, he's making a lot of noise. I think the goal of what KRU's opener looks like they wanted to feign like they're doing a big high pressure play up B long and force a reaction into Art potentially.
Yeah, and then they've got a trap in Art. They've got Chamber taking contact, so Shy takes contact, and then they have a flash for Mazzino to peek. Mel's is also there to provide some support.
There it is.
But the Vice flash here off the Chamber contact.
Yeah, Shy catches it. There's a flash and a peek. Well, he's going to be all the way back here, but a bit of spam through the box as well. There's a half clearance in sight. Yeah, it's all managed in time. EG very aware.
They're super aware of these trap plays. Everything that KRU has tried has failed. EG are always one step ahead. And they've always got multiple players too. They're never just experimenting and teasing into these spots with one or two. There's always a full pack of bodies ready to trade out.
Because an Adverso going to be making a good go at this one. Maybe a 2v5, but as a pistol running, got nothing to lose still. Better than your life. Adverso. 1v5. Players are low, but Josh has already sold me a bridge. I'm not going to try and pawn it off to you.
No, the 1v5 does not look likely here. EG playing with a ton of discipline, picking the timing off the back of the Vice Flash and sending it. And guess who we were talking about to open up? Talking about Ye, getting out here on the Jet. He already picks up 2 nice ones.
Nice shot.
Beautiful opener onto Melza, and then comes back in for another one afterwards with a long-range kill onto Kesnet. Flawless pistol round.
Now we win.
Again, really about the ideas to me. Just really good awareness that there might have been some kind of trap, and it's not a trap that I've really seen before.
Very ready for it here. KRU. Standard play when you're on an eco. Try and build up to the next rounds, really. Just thinking about longer win cons, steal up the orbs.
And I do think we've looked at the way that EG has played on the attack side of this map before. They tend to put heavy focus on mid control rather than playing for A main at the start of the rounds, B main at the start of the rounds. And that does mean that KRU should be able to hoover up that ult orb very frequently. That should be a defense-sided ultimate orb in A with the way that EG like to default. But it also means that KRU are going to lose mid information super often.
The minute mark, players are all over the place here. Sidestep, Mazzino attempted to make a go of this one. Now they've dropped a gun all the way to the top section. No defense in sight from EG. They don't want to try and push back.
The re-peek there from Icy, a rare moment of a player overheating a little bit on EG.
You've handed KRU a gun, and the body's quickly swarming the position over towards A here. Spike's only just making its way over towards it, and KRU been handed a bit of a gift in terms of this timing to be taken. There's a dart, a flash forwards. No one to follow this one up.
Thorn's broken in secret. EG should be aware, and they are. Salvos.
Spike planted.
Pushes KRU back. and allows EG to settle back into more defensive positions.
White face. Melzer does not go down there. The bullet's just drifting past him. We'll see if there's a star available to potentially obfuscate this one from going through. Quick tap from reverse, so they already know that they need to try and force out that pull, but it's been called that they're off. So steady hand, holding back that util. Superman is going for a big wraparound play here. Another tap, finally the pull's being forced out of them.
But there is no smoke for Melzer. He doesn't have a star available.
Rebounding, bit of the util here. Melzer now sticking here, but you've got two players holding this over the shoulder, and already they've earned themselves half. This is Kruger, massive chance to try and win this one out. Players are going to be falling, but onto the side of EG as well. Need to try and clean this one up. The wraparound on the flank, Superman, it finally pays off. And he swings around for that three-piece. Listen, got a bit hectic.
Yeah, not the cleanest round in the world for EG, but I think they'll be happy that they just take the victory in the end. This first kill, great from Icy. The refight back in, not a big fan. And then a couple of missed shots, mostly from Ye, though that might be unfair because we were on his POV more than other people, but you're expecting him to be able to get the cleanup there with the Outlaw, to be honest.
Wasn't even close. Was it? Hey, was not even close.
Yeah, not even close. If you believe that, you'll be looking for the bridge that I've been selling all day today.
I've got it for now, and I'm holding on to it.
Okay, bad weaponry for EG coming into the bonus. They're buying up, stingers, sheriffs, marshals, this kind of stuff, just to see if they can get any damage done to the crew economy. But really, this is an opportunity for crew to get their feet underneath them. And again, crew, complete control of A main at the start of the round. Get used to this. It's a weird way that we see EG take control of the map on Pearl. Most other teams focus on A main really heavily at the start of a lot of these defaults. They don't go exploring through mid in the first 20-30 seconds, but Potter's got a different idea for this map.
Dimensional Drift. It's Kesnet earning this one up here, so he's going to be getting that critical information.
So early on, though. Kesnet is always using his ultimates.
Okay, does have the gate crash.
Way before EG have figured out what they want to do in the round, though. Right? It's another example of crew being a bit too quick. Not anticipating that EG are going to be playing this one super slowly again.
45 seconds. Melzer with the rifle is going to be feeling a bit braver than that, to be honest, up against EA. Quick dash back as well, but now the pressure mounting out through arc.
Oh, what a face.
That is a crazy peek and a swing, and Derek's instantly straight back at you, and it's a 3v3. 30 seconds remaining, EG.
30 seconds left.
You cannot let your options dwindle like this, like we've been seeing for them. You're droning in through mid, a bit of exploration. You've got 20 seconds left now at this point, and a kill to be found and claimed. Smazino wins out that fight. This one is a bizarre one. Crudo, they still have players. Reinforcements out towards the back here. Natana's going to be managed to stun in through the back of the side as well. On a fight. Claims one out here. The swinging round and wide. There's 9 seconds left. And Ye is just laying claim. And siege onto the A site. There to the taking. Up to Mazzino now. Up to Mazzino!
What a round for EG to pull out with such minimal weaponry. The swings that they're taking. Ye is playing with Melzer in A main, jiggle peeking him and then wide swinging him with a Marshall. And then the double face was ridiculous from Art over towards A. All of that just setting EG up into position.
Icy, I hit the biggest pop and swing of my career right there.
It was absurd.
That was
it really
crazy.
was. Nature's 0 and 2, but he set his teammate up so well in that position too. But it also shows that crew unable to deal with those positions, those players. When Ye was playing around and Nature was wide swinging, crew couldn't get the kills cleanly enough, and it caused the chaos for EG to thrive.
Slow as you go. Wow, it's at 145. Mazzino does the damage, backs away.
My ult's ready.
All picked up for Icy. That's going to make it much easier if they choose to commit into the B side, which the players are steadily moving over towards. So EG gearing up.
Crew, though, they've got 3 players here. But it's about patience for crew, isn't it? All right, here as the ultimate comes through.
Yeah.
They should be fairly aware.
Peeking out into the line of sight. Kisner's already been dropped here. There's a wall. Face it out. Drone has to be dealt with here, and he's already spotted a few of these players out. Icy finally going to be letting loose in through the back here, but the smoke's propped up. Gives Mazzino a potential entry plan all the way through towards the top. Does he want to try and blindly fire off into this one? Derek's going to be sticking that one. The plan goes down, an extension into the round itself. Crew, what a shot by Mazzino now. Yeah, he was dropped down earlier, prior, just from that damage that he did. Thorns broken. It's EG that are embedded in towards the back of the site here when the flood attempt is finally starting to come through. Crew just trying to barrel over. See if they can find a way to win this one out with just the raw bodies. The guns are not in hand, dropping down. Mazzino again. This is a 1v1 that he's earned himself into. Rifle picked up already. Salvos have to be used here, denying him that chance to try and get half onto the defuse, but it's not a good plan for Derek. He's going to have to swing wide out into the open. Sidestep with a movement again, and Derek wins it. 4-0 EG.
There was danger, for sure. KRU, they're still gonna push you in these kind of rounds, but with the opener and with the closer from Derek, EG managed to navigate those choppy waters. Great lead again.
With them like that?
It's incredibly impressive that they have the belief and the confidence coming into a game like this.
Yeah.
Shows you that to be an elite competitor, you need a short memory, to be honest.
Yeah.
You just need to reset and treat every game as if it's winnable, because, my God, EG are out here, and they are playing some great Valorant, honestly. The player that we were looking at to have a big performance is Ye. He's 6-2 on the scoreboard right now. He's handling his situations really nicely. Had a massive round in round 3 to get them over the board. Shy is going to pick up the operator here. And I would imagine, with the way that EG have been playing, heavy kind of mid-defaulting for the first 30, 40 seconds of the round, that they're going to be hyper aware of him being posted up in some kind of like A main, B main kind of position.
Now, I will say, one of the questions I kind of asked at the beginning was, why did EG pick Pearl? Why has they selected this as the staging ground? Have they seen something that KRU are doing? And as part of their game plans, their mid-defaults, the Salvos are going in common positions for the chamber TP. So Shy is being forced into really uncomfortable spots.
And I mean, this chamber TP back here is really deep. Allows for a ton of room all the way through this connector before you ever reach the trip.
Yeah.
But it also allows him to keep it up as he fights over towards B, which presumably is what Shy's going for, though his positioning is really passive at the start.
Look at where he's having to put his TP.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it even stretches far enough. He might just be forced into... Whoa!
I wasn't ready for that!
Yeah!
That's sick!
Was not ready for that!
That is sick! Again, that is like when Pearl released kind of gameplay.
Oh
yeah, he
my.
winds back the clock. That's a lovely play with the Blade Storm. Seeing something from PaperX going for that kind of stuff. Now Ye bringing it out with EG. That's the creativity that I used to love watching Evil Geniuses.
Shy. He's chosen to abandon the setup essentially at this point.
Risky from nature, risky from Superman. There is a lot of danger in this round still.
Look at the player positions from EG. I mean, they've got all the space in the world. I see that deep trip. He's looked all the way up through into mid. Shy's looking to try and catch that contact now. EG might make their way over into a B split, so Shy could be a really important key piece to try and push this one back with only 35 seconds left, but looks like EG will probably send most players up through lane.
30 seconds
Slow going, though.
I mean, Derek is going to be mightily important here. There's 25 seconds, and they're not even ready to split. Superman could just go down here.
It's a wall. Superman. He's just white-facing straight into it. Now listen, Derek's off to the side here with a ricochet into the stun, and he does face it in time, but Kesnet was up onto that side. The time needs to be dealt with. There's only 12 seconds left. Adverso just toying with him, trying to buy that time. Nature lands it. It's a worldly of a shot. And it leaves it now down to Verse Melzer pushing through. Desperate times, desperate measures, and it does not work out. 5-0 now for EG. They can do no wrong.
That's exactly the kind of round that I wanted KRU to play, where they are super patient, they hold their ground. I mean, obviously, they lost Mazzino at the very start, so that's a nightmare scenario for them to lose the Vice with all of the info and stopping power. But they have the patience, they get Kesnet in the right spot. Kesnet gets a 2K. There's barely any time on the clock. Nature has to backpedal, strafe left and right, and finally hits shot with 8 seconds left on the clock to be able to get the plant down. So even when they're stretched, even when they're pressed, EG are coming up with the goods. KRU just have full control of A main every single round. Free ult orb every round. EG don't care.
No.
They are waiting. They know that it's a bit of an eco for KRU. They know that Shy is going to be looking for a peek with his chamber operator somewhere. So first 20 seconds of the round, we do not touch our keyboards. Just waiting for them to make a play.
KRU themselves quite static. Mazzino, flash in your face, gotta respect this one. Could be facing that high-low potentially. There's some salvos.
Wall in the same spot here, Brent, from Mazzino. And they're pinging it out. They know that it's here inside the smoke. It's a little bit difficult to bait unless Icy goes for the clone.
Yeah, clone goes a long way.
And they've been doing this a lot, where they drone out the opposite side of mid to the one that they're actually in. So they're just trying to pull a couple of rotates over towards the B side of the map, but they didn't break the trip. They spotted the trip, though.
Wall selective. It's going to be a 3-2-1. Just try and skip and hop all the way over, the three of them. Flash. Think onto most of them.
4 players ready to defend here
They've
from
got
KRU.
it in through the back of the side. Here's a Steel Garden as well on top of it. Cloud bursts forwards as the approach, and the TP in by Icy as well. But really, you're just working with shotguns and need those players at the rifles to really step up. KRU finally putting a stop to this. 5-0 at a time, ticking away. KRU looking to try and get that first round onto the board already. 10 seconds remaining as well. That pressure, it's not being released whatsoever. KRU, they don't let EG relax.
Finally get their players into the right spot. The trip from Shy, holding the chamber ultimate down B long. He got them so much information to be able to stay confident on A. The KRU players are in the right place at the right time with the clock dwindling.
Yeah.
It's so antithetical to the way that KRU want to play Valorant, I think, to play these rounds out super slowly like this and have the patience. But there you see an example of, I feel like, how you have to play against EG. A main control again. Yay, not really challenging it.
Nope. Running all the way up. Taking up the orb and Shy posted operator.
Yeah, it's this control from Shy that was really a problem in this previous round, because the trip over towards Connector and then the sight line down here means that the rest of KRU don't really have to worry about B. They have to be concerned about mid, they have to be concerned about A, but they've got a ton of A control.
Who's next?
Yeah, he's just off to the side here. It's a dimensional drift.
Pulling them in.
Popped off. That's Icy's looking for a bit of information here with a dash back and away to safety. 2 players looking to see if they can put a stop to this one, but they're spotted out now by Icy. And what's the game plan here towards the back of the side? He's going to be just unleashing it. Steel Garden as well into the players' face. They can't quite hop over to this one. This is Kesnet seeking to see if he can return that favor again with a dimensional drift. Yeah, it's fading. He has to take the gate crash all the way back here. Thorns drop down and lay it down. KRU
Planting for Art.
and they evacuate out most of the site here and give them access to that plan, but that's 100 Fury. It's delayed at first, so no connections, no tags. Shy off the mark there, and Icy cemented.
They didn't clear this.
Deep forward spot, and they might just think it's cleared in a moment's notice. Off to the side as well, just slightly there with it. And okay, Shy does land that shot.
Cosmic
Returns
Divide.
it, drops him. Cosmic Divide gives that space for KRU to try and get themselves in. Preemptive.
Salvos.
All that Utah's going to have to be used to clear it all the way out. Don't think that's where the intended placement of that flash was. Well, not matter though, but what is the game plan now for EG? How do they even stop this one with the wall into their face? It's a bit of spam! Oh my! Spray and pray, but half already earned into this one and just hopping into the smoke. It's Derek who lands that final one. 6-1.
Good plant position from EG. Really good usage of the pull and the salvos to bait out all of that time that Melter had the Cosmic Divide active. This kill probably shouldn't have happened. Adverso sending in his Silver ultimate doesn't clear Secret properly.
Nice! Let's go! Yo, I can't lie, I whipped. I cannot lie, I whipped that round. I cannot lie.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They played the game plan properly. They had all of that post-plant utility to buy the time while Melzer's ult was active, and then they swing back through together, and the plant position lets them play it from both sides. Here's a fight in the mid. KRU on the eco. Anticipated again.
Yeah, that slow play finally being rewarded at the beginning of these rounds by EG. It's KRU who are feeling like they have to make the first move. Risks on the eco to potentially get over the hurdle. That second round, it's eluding them.
And the way that EG default, you kind of take mid early on. If KRU fight mid, you've got to collapse onto them. And then you kind of know which angles people are going to be posted up on B main and A main. You're luring them into the extremities of the map.
I mean, Shy is so deep that his trip has gone down in through B-Link. So it's a multitude of map controllers going to be missing. In fact, Shy didn't even place it down. Stand corrected. Kesnet finally going to be shoring up the gaps and potentially landing a shot. There it is. Yay. Gone down here. Gatecrash is going to be TP in the air all the way past him here, but Shy really could do some damage. Again, not clearing. And called out a little bit too late there. Icy It's removed one of the thorns in their side. Verso getting a bit of a run and a jog on all the way up towards the top there, just peeking out. I see. How long do you overstay this one? Because you don't want to be giving away too much more in terms of guns as a sidestep and a deep fight. Good decision making by EG. It's a plant not quite for Heaven Control, spawn side maybe, but as long as they've doubled up here and Shy realizes he's got quite a bit of space to clone into the face and peeking right behind Nature.
Some of these spots, they get tough for EG, and then they make the right decision. As you said, Icy and Nature pushing forwards into spawn. It's another great shot from Kesney. You know, he's finding his value in this map. A very different feel compared to Lotus. But Melzer and Adverso just couldn't hold on. I can respect what they're going for as well with the bad weapons, just going for like a mad jump peek. Yeah. Trying to throw off the crosshair placement. But they couldn't find an isolated fight. EG playing together and taking control of that area of the map.
Second timeout.
Really early on. Very early. Who had an EG 2-0 out here?
Not many people, I don't think.
Did we get a chance to look at the predictions graphic at the beginning of the day?
I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to run that now.
I know that Dryad didn't want it to be shown because she told Potter that she believed in EG, or was rooting at least for EG. But I think she went for KRU.
Uh-oh. I mean, how could you not go for KRU the way that they've been playing recently?
I know. They looked
EG
like,
as well.
KRU looked like not a lock for top seed, but an extremely strong chance for top seed after they beat Sentinels. And yes, they had a little bit of a slip up against 2G. Their form didn't look amazing in that game. But you're expecting them to rebound and have a great performance out here. It has been utterly different. Utterly. I think you've had underperformances from a couple of the KRU players. I've not been a big fan of what I've seen from Adverso or Melzer today. And I know that looks like I'm just picking on them because they're at the bottom of the scoreboard. But they both had some rough moments on Lotus too. But I think EG deserves so much credit for just having a slower tempo and a controlled pace that has taken all of the sting and the punch out of KRU. And now Ye picks up an attack side operator. You know it's going to be a slow round. You know he's going to want KRU to peek into him. So, I mean, sit back, relax, grab a snack for the first 40 seconds of the round because EG, they're not going anywhere.
That's a recall with a smoke. Okay. A bit of spam flying forwards.
Imagine yourself in KRU's position right now, though. As the tension builds, as the clock ticks down, you're worried that they're like contacting into A main and getting ready to pop. You feel like you need info at some point.
Flash. Ooh, just barely out of dodge there with a rendezvous. You're right, KRU feeling that squeeze, feeling like they need to make the plays.
Here.
Dart's going to be broken. For that clearance, did they realize that Icy slipped up all the way in through? It's being watched by Shy. Derek, drone forwards, but it doesn't stretch far enough.
I mean, Ye has just spent an entire minute clearing out these angles over towards A main. And it looks like they're eventually going to be going back over towards him. All of this pressure on B is a fake.
30 seconds left.
The trip hasn't actually been broken at Pillar, but it's so deep that they could essentially be B splitting by the time you even get to that.
All over the line, the wall's going to be triggered. Thorns down though, a bit more delay, and KRU are able to just, again, provide bodies, a bit of support now. Bring the town bow, get the Iron Golems involved at this point, but Icy, he's all the way in. And that's going to be it, Dart towards the back here, but KRU is still going to be shredding them. Bullets and rifles in hand here, sidestepping. Melzer is playing with him, toying with the fight here, and Derek just can't quite land that shot indeed. He's very much isolated, doesn't really have any support from the rest of his team, but he's able to find a bit of a backup. To get back to to play it forwards here. There's a player advantage for KRU.
There.
Get themselves deep onto the site. Verso sticking. Defense is not quite there. He's going to paint with his life. It's ult expended. Armageddon off to the side here, but the timing taken. There's a lot of damage done indeed, but a shorty. Too far in terms of the range as well. Swinging from the side as well. Damage done. Might make a difference. Superman. Time.
Oh, he's got it.
It's there.
Oh, that is close, though. There was 4 seconds left, maybe even less on Derek's salvos. If he'd been able to escape at Art, that round is locked up. But KRU increased the pressure, ran him down, and made sure that he was in a spot where he wasn't able to use that post-plant utility safely. Even a round like this, though, it's so winnable. Icy and Ye whiffing a little bit. But you can see that EG have a great understanding of how they want to play post-plant positions. It was only a couple of seconds made the difference. But EG have finally been knocked down onto I mean, probably their first eco round of the series at this point.
And instantly, look at this.
Tactical timeout. Potter slamming the desk. It is unacceptable that we are only winning 13-4 and 7-2. No, I mean, she'll just have some slight adjustments, I would imagine, to what's been going on here.
Yeah, possibly if you're playing slow, attack side op as well. Might need to get a bit more of a move on, I think, in terms of deciding.
Yeah, I think it's difficult though, right? Because the slow tempo has been working today, and it's been baiting crew into making these rough plays. What would be going through my head from Potter's seat right now is, I haven't seen us break trip in like 5 rounds. So somewhere around the map, there is a chamber trip providing value for crew, and we're not getting to it. And that means that crew are now being able to stack bodies on the sides that we're ending on. Even when we're going across that vice wall really late into the round and giving them very late round indicators. So a couple of options for that. You might want to try to explore deeper on the default to see if you can find the trip. You might want to try to speed up the executes a little more so that you're getting deep into crew's face before those rotates can come through. Or you just might want to try to pick up an ult orb, have Icy run in somewhere with a dimensional drift and Bucky 3 people to death.
Yeah, that's always an option. One away from the ult himself. It's all up towards B.
Yeah, they've got a smoke here for Icy to pick up orb. Does he get punished?
They got a little bit of high-low going on as well.
Got it.
Through the smoke, stray shots of Kesnet.
The Bucky POV.
Oh, here it is. I thought that EG might choose to send it, but
I think they still will. This is going to be a B re-hit at some point here, I would imagine. Icy maybe looking like he wants to go through double doors to get as much information as possible. But I mean, you take a look at the positioning of Superman and Derek here. Crew don't 100% know it, but this one is definitely ending B still. That recon dart is good from Adverso.
Who's next?
It's going to keep 3 bodies on this site.
So okay, the ult is going to be used to try and clear the way through.
Yeah, but the gate crash is coming back to B.
Yeah, faking that presence again, but yeah, you haven't really removed any of the taunts prior. There's only 38 seconds left. Cosmic Divided even being committed here. There's a flash into the face as well. No connection, and even a return, that's it. Swinging in through the back. This is all crew now. In control. One's not broken in time here, but might not be too much of a problem to pull. It's being denied. EG, hold on, Nature. He's finding some ground here, but no coverage in for the back there, but okay, Nature's already found himself the 3-piece, but left into that 1v2. He'd have to ace to finish this one off. Kesnet round to the side just with the shoulder, and he's found that first kill. Okay, Steel Garden, it's available. 8 seconds left and remaining. Plant down, but you're sticking your body out just a little bit too wide there. Does Melza know? He's going to know now. Up towards Heaven. This is it. An ace potentially to seal this one up, and playing time, backs out wide. He just wants to fight. He wants to end this round here, and now, and he smokes it out entirely.
That's a ridiculously good round from Nature. How is he finding these moments? I mean, he was the one that saved them in a very similar situation on B a few rounds prior. 4 rounds earlier, something like that. He pulls out a kill with 8 seconds left on the clock. Somehow gets it from the depths.
He's got a Midas
and
touch.
recovers it. He does today. But also, everybody does today on EG. It's not just one person. You think about this team this year, last year, ever since they went on that ridiculous run towards Champions, this new version of the team has not been able to get all pistons firing at the same time.
Yeah.
And today they have. It's an iBuy power ace from Nature.
Kesnet. Again, gambit and a gamble here from Crew. They're all onto the weaker weaponry. The exception of Mazzino. Facing this with a lot of the players now. EG are not going to be rushing into anything. We know this at this point. 2 more rounds left into the half. Game plan doesn't really need to be adjusted.
It's pretty similar to the pistol round where Crew have got a trap play set up over here, and it does feel like EG are hyper aware. And again,
I'm going for something here. Yeah, they're being met with a multitude of players as Mazzino does clean up.
acceleration has got to be the name of the game here for Ye. Got to take the space.
Forwards. He's out, so he's missed it in terms of that timing, and the Steel Garden would have mopped him up regardless. Mazzino is doing a lot in this spot. Squaring up to take that fight. Superman and Derek, they've won there once, and all the way wrapping around, this is Shy.
30 seconds left.
Plant's going to be down. One thing that Shy has got going for him is that EG don't know where he is, lurking round to these corners, tour de force.
But we can see from the minimap, he's not going to get a free
Oh,
kill
man.
here. And he's up against a pull, salvos. It's a nightmare. It's the worst two players to try to clutch against.
Genuinely is. Shy.
That's a good spot.
Uncomfortable. Has to tap. Needs to get at least one layer of this down and out. Doesn't clear it all the way. A few bullets sprayed and fired away. Here's the salvo, second wave of things. Shy's trying to play this one as best as he possibly can, and he's already removed and eliminated at least one of the elements. That's a stun, and time ticking away from him. The stall is just too much. Circle already shrinking. This is a round one out by Superman.
Oh, and he's going to get taken out as well. Can't even save the Vandal. Betrayed by his own chamber slow on the floor. Are we really going to see 10-2 halves?
It's
Dominantly from EG on the attack side.
crazy.
It really is.
Genuinely. And I was saying, listen, last 2 days, Josh, we've been going into these casts and been saying, okay, all of these Americas games, they feel like they're one-sided on paper. There's going to be one of them where the upset occurs. There's always one.
There's always
maybe
one.
two. And I didn't say it at the start of this game. Maybe I should have.
Because I think on paper this looked like the most one-sided game of the week.
Yeah.
And actually, in reality, it was the most one-sided game of the week. At least if EG are able to close out here.
Dimensional drift forwards. This is Kesnet. Spots it. One player at least. Again, this is an early dimensional drift if you're looking for information of how slow the EG are playing, but
it's so early.
It's slapdash from KRU. They pushed up Shy.
Yeah, it's pushed Shy up onto an extremely aggressive position. So he's hoping to catch Superman as he goes for that re-exploration. They know that the people on the extremities are just contacting through. That's kind of the way that Derek and Ye have been playing this, you know? No salvos being used here, no drone being used here. Just peeking around the angles, slicing the pie up, trying to get to the point where you're meeting the vice wall. This time, did they bait it just then in R?
Yeah, they did. Jump spot.
Yeah, so now Nazino without that wall to be able to rely on.
More moves being made by EG just to clear up the remnants of this util.
Okay, but this round, Shy's positioning is going to be everything. This is such a weird spot.
No, you don't anticipate it.
You're not droning this out.
35 seconds left. You're going to be heading over towards B. This is the spike as well. It could be dropped down.
They're
with no one to
droning
reclaim.
this
Droning, but oh, it's spotted! What level of awareness is that from Superman?
Launching thorns.
Sniffed out Shy spot as well, and that really could have just been it. Spike dropped down into the middle of nowhere if he managed to claim that two-piece. KRU still really trying to pile onto the bodies because there's only 13 seconds remaining for this one, and a Hunter's Fury could be exactly what they ordered. What they need to try and deny this one as that attack. Derek is forced wide and out to the side. At 6 seconds left, there needs to be that reclamation. Here it is. Push it off to the side. Defense in order. And the VIP protected. That's a spike planted, and EG not in the mood to be dropping rounds even when the time and situation gets dire.
Completely in control. Playing the clock masterfully. With the pace that they've been playing at, torturously slow.
30 seconds.
KRU felt like they're on the stretching rack all day. Bones being ripped out of sockets, but when the time gets low like this, so many teams trip over themselves. EG still able to pluck every piece of danger out. Shy's position, drone, the planter defended.
Yeah, it's giving Zeta Division a Reykjavik, to be honest. this level of play, it's absurd stuff. And listen, we're going to be going to the next half momentarily. Stick around.
Red Bull gives you wings.
10-2. Again, we've seen this one before. Not too long ago, in fact. And EG leading heavily. It's an absurd circumstance that we've found ourselves in, really, just watching this game take place.
Yeah.
We keep saying it, Josh, but really, you've got to iterate it. Got to hammer it home.
No, they couldn't have found a better time to come online. EG's win earlier on in Stage 1 against 2G was, you know, a solid victory, a good win to put in the column, but it didn't turn any heads.
No.
And I think EG's play all year hasn't really turned any heads. They've been living off kind of the legacy of what they've done in 2023. But this is a massive, not just scalp to take, because obviously winning against KRU is enormous, but the way in which they've done it today is electric.
That's a clean sweep, almost.
Assuming that they close out here. It would be a disaster if they let this kind of lead slip. But I was selling some kind of KRU comeback on Lotus, and it dissipated immediately.
Yeah, we'll see. All players grouped up here. Now Derek is alone off to the site. We'll see what kind of support is going to be available for him with the drone. That's a spot onto two of the players. Gate crash back to safety. Guess they're going to be avoiding that. Very cautious here by KRU. It's not being broken in time there, but a util still expended and a reclear. Caught for EG. They want to get active. That's a flash that does connect. Gonna land his kill. You gotta lay claim to it. Adverso finally dropped into the moment, but here is the follow-up. KRU are quick to respond in kind. Yay! From the side, Melzer. He's right there. Ghost into his face. 45 health left for Shy, and they're making rapid moves once more. KRU trying to dominate, take control towards the back of the site here, and they've just missed Nature.
Yeah, what a timing.
Slipped his way in through sewers as well, so he's going to be safe for the time. Big Melzer! Astral 4! That's just unfortunate. Can't call it much else.
EG now are going to be wondering, oh, where on earth are these players?
Yeah, they realise.
Got a weird timing.
There.
Still, slip the net towards it. It's planned for backside, so that's going to steadily, surely realise it. That is a hell of a peak, and a hell of a pick to find into the 1v1 here. Superman has got to do it all against Mazzino, and Mazzino, hopes and dreams laying down onto this one as damage done. Surely the advantage lays in Mazzino's hands. He eventually gets it done.
Classic right click, the superior tool for the job in that situation. But it's not a clean pistol round like we saw from Lotus.
Opposite a clean, man.
Very similar story though, isn't it? Entirely similar. A 10-2 half, KRU come out with the pistol round. I reminded you of what happened in our previous episode. That was EG coming out and then doing so much chip damage over the course of this eco that they ended up coming away with a victory and going up 11-3. So keep your eyes peeled. The scriptwriter's got a different idea. Yay with a Marshall.
Okay.
Could be a bit of danger. Recall smoke into the recon dart.
Yeah, KRU making a bit of noise here with the dart as well to clear up close. They're trying to obfuscate that they're not doing this, but EG is still stacking with bodies. In fact, Derek's making moves all the way back over on top of it. It's going to be the drone. I think it's just missed that timing. Icy, he slipped into this one. Into the smoke, he can't move a muscle though. If he does, he's going to give away the job here, and he's just pushing all the way forwards. That's a risky play to make. Damage done to Kesnit, but he's still alive. And that's the important factor.
Mazzino's taking a bunch of space on the other side of the map. He's the player that only had a ghost, so he's allowed to go and walk around. It's not too much of a problem if he ends up getting taken out, but he's doing a great job of exploring and vacuuming up all of this space. He's going to hear a couple of rotations in spawn as well.
Carrying away. Spotted the one. Knows that yeah, he's going to be there on top of it. And Superman from behind. Okay, they are able to at least clean out that one particular area, but they know it's going to be landing over towards A. KRU got the guns. Got the bodies too. Yay. Smokes in your face. Going for a quick little peek here with the damage done.
30 seconds
Does he dare blindly fire? Does he dare blindly take the shot here? Classic! It's doing work somehow. Still Adverso will go down. Kesnit will go down. But there's a cleanup. Melzer just in time.
Melzer was required there. The only player with over 100 health.
Yeah.
Yay with a Marshall. Could have gone dumb crazy in that spot. All right, 10-4 though. This time, KRU actually managed to convert the pistol. And so they've got more of a chance of building up some level of momentum on their attack side. You can see the pace completely changes once KRU are on attack. Way faster, way more mid-round pivots from one side to the other, ping-ponging around the place. And a decent-ish buy, actually, for the bonus. 2 Guardians, 2 Vandals, plenty of opportunity.
Ton of danger. Crew could make a bit of a statement here. They'd love to be honest, to get their minds back into the series. All the way forwards, though. My wall's going to be broken. At least triggered there by the clone.
You are divided.
Did they anticipate this? Icy tucked up in terms of his position as a gate crash forwards. It's a flash to Ryan. Repeat this one forwards. Gate crash to safety. Gets this one. Gets out. Dimensional drift as well, but Nature's in through the back as well. And they're looking for a refight play. It's a flash through and around to clone into your face as well. A little bit mistimed there, but still, EG has control of it. And Thorns are going to be broken. Spike is planted in the midst of all of this one here. Crew can vacate. Back to long, back to the safety where they can try and play for the long-range battle with their guns and the util in hand. A bit of spam goes a long way in a spot like this. Still a 4v4. He was up and over towards the top here, just trying to body block and dodge this one, but the spam as well. Yeah, he's going to be dropped there in through the smoke. That's Derek. Good adjustment. Quick up with it. Still smokes to try and drop this one, and players still finding their marks and the targets themselves. Superman! 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 Sticks it all the way!
Inside the smoke! Nothing the Crew could do. No Deho in that composition, no salvos. And even with the Cosmic Divide to set up for a really nice plant position, a corner that can be accessed from so far away. All the bullets just whiz past.
Yeah. It's the danger trying to play those angles.
And the post plant just looked so much better from EG with their version of the composition. It was always a nightmare to get past Derek and Superman. They could delay for so long.
Who's next?
Keston's forward now. Got the ult in hand as well, looking to see if he can clear out most of this space.
I mean, they are just sending it B. The last 3 rounds in a row have been running fast into the B site.
Over and over again, and Keston getting brave at these peaks, maybe feeling like he has to do a little bit more.
Planted. My ultimate's
Not going to give him much in the form of confidence, but a Steel Guardian at least is going to be delaying. And Crew actually going for a little fight in the play, moving up into lane. Still, they get their clearance. Ice is going to be removed from that spot here, just making sure that they dominate, but the guns are back into the hands of these players. And Yay looking to do work with it all the way forwards and out, up and over with a dash and around. But Superman, here he is! Just absolutely dominating. Cosmic Divide in your face. Derek can stick this one, and as long as there's that coverage, Superman just doesn't intend to miss today, apparently. Glasses off, get the cape out, go flying.
He's on fire. 20 kills again in this map after playing 16 rounds. Where is the second kill in that? Gets a wallbang kill, allegedly, onto Shy.
Oh my god, he just cooked them.
I mean, they're just not in the habit of losing right now.
No, but he's also caught a perfect timing. In the midst of all of the Chaos, Crew turning around to deal with Yay, and Superman getting delivered a 2K on a platter. This could be a 13-4, 13-4, one of the most dominant series that I can remember in Americas recently, and an enormous upset.
Insanity for EG. And now they want to take the fight straight to them. This is playing into Crew's hand ever so slightly. Icy and Superman immediately dropped. But lurks occurring from Mazzino. He's going to be hearing it. The footsteps tip-tapping through Spawn is going to be calling us out to their team.
Change up from Crew as well. They went for an A-leaning default. Pick up, yeah, you're going for that exploration through water. I mean, Nature cannot go for that.
No. Gonna give it away, won't he?
He's stuck. I think the dreams of the 13-4 might just be over here. EG looked to try to change something up there with a bit of an aggressive fight.
Derek, hold up, that's a two-piece instant there. Nature, wrapping from behind, hold on, it's a 1v2.
There's no shot.
There's no chance. EG, Nature, he's been on fire all day. The Midas touch is what he's had. Timing's off the dart. He needs to isolate these fights, but a double face is there, so Crew not willing to lose that easily.
And they get their 5th round, which is not something that we've been able to say so far today whatsoever. They knock EG down onto an eco as well, but there are still 7 more chances for EG to close this out in a clean 2-0.
Yeah.
And the players are still firing. They are still shooting. It's not like the form of EG has tailed off throughout this series. If anything, the confidence has just grown.
Time to jump.
Wild that they also haven't really needed Yay to come online. He's got a Blade Storm in this round.
Scanning ahead.
Would be a fun little way to close the series out.
I mean, I'm seeing Icy with an ult, Derek with an ult. If EG start getting some picks, why not let loose?
And if Mazzino goes to try to break this Vice setup,
narrow miss.
yeah, gives Ye an opportunity, but Ye not quite sharp with it.
Derek potentially feeling that heat now, has to drop down with a stun. Causing the crew players to scatter. They're not really in the habit of wanting to lean in, go into these hits where potentially the eco stack could be.
But crew have been ending in roughly the same spots that they've been making noise. So EG just going to gamble, hope that it ends A.
Catching that one. Do they clear Nature off into the corner here with the salvos? That's meant to try and supplement, potentially push a player into Nature, but he's not going to be denied onto this corner here. The question is, does he get cleared in time? Surely he does. It's a common enough position, and yeah, Buzzers right onto it. Shy onto the corner, and...
Ooh, he's missed the timing onto Mazzino here.
Yeah. Might not make a huge difference, though, with Kesnit and his crew steadily making progress over towards the A site. This angle is a bit devious, though, onto Icy. He's off to the side already. Overstays his welcome, though. Just gets the one. Derek in through the back on top of it. I'm going to see it. Fights to be taken. Rifles into their hands, finally. Cleaning up the last straggler that is EG.
EG now with rifles back online. Last time we saw them with a rifle round, they decided to take the fight to crew. Just looking for a mix-up. Not something, though, that's been working for EG today.
Yep.
Instead, it's been reacting to the noise around the map and just trying to flood in. That was how they got. I mean, they didn't even really need too many defensive rounds on Lotus, and they don't need many defense rounds here either.
Here.
3 is all Dr. Ordered. Ye picks up an operator, might take contact against Kesnit here.
Potentially on the pixel angle. Oh, what a shot!
Oh, that's outrageous.
Oh my, okay, Kesnit. And here's an ult earned up. The back of that one and the orb on top of it as an Armageddon to try and slow down his approach once more. Derek, you can see it, blue outline tickling around to the side here, and he's hoping that there's some help here, but how does Shy go down to it? It's salvos. Just being set up. Got to see a replay of that one at some point potentially here, but a TP deep in through the back, just try and get the hell out of there with a Hunter's Fury. Icy is dropping a Mazzino all the way through here, just raw spam and firepower. Brute force is what it feels like to try and get away into this site, but tucked to the side is Superman once more. These bait and switch setups, 2 players spotted. If crew don't slow this one down.
But if they do slow it down, they're going to run into a salvo in
And
10
here it
seconds.
is, Superman swinging from the side, fights to be taken. Crew barely winning it.
What a round from Kesnit. The pre-fire to open onto Ye, shuts down the operator. And then, as they continue to try to brute force their way through the choke point, he gets 2 to close things out. Not around where Shy should have been dying into the Teho utility, I don't think. There's still a large spot of safety that the rest of his team is playing inside of. But all right, things get scrappy, things get chaotic. Crew stay alive. 5 chances now, and EG on a bad buy again.
Standing ahead.
So it feels like they have a lot of opportunities to close this game out, but the actual amount of rifle rounds they're going to have, if they keep losing, what, 3 more?
That works.
Maybe less.
Okay, I mean, Ice has gone for the same playbook once more.
This time it works, though. And he didn't even have to invest the ultimate. So Icy now has a dimensional drift where he could try to do the same thing.
That's so cheeky.
He's been going for that kind of play pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Didn't find too much value out of it, but what a round to pull it out.
Icy seen, considering the ult here, but honestly, some presence.
If he goes for the ult, now could be the perfect timing, because he just sent the gate crash over towards A as well. Mazzino, who's walking in.
Oh, he's all the way
getting
through.
caught.
The shot's gone wide, but not a second one. That's Ye. Finds it. Pops ahead of Mazzino. Dimensional drift of Icy as well, looking to clear through most of this site, just realizing, actually, hold on, it was just Mazzino into the fight, and that's a rifle picked up.
It's a 5v3 to close things out and deliver EG a 2-0 to get into
30
playoffs.
seconds left.
A gift.
Circumstances we weren't expecting at the beginning of the day.
Want to fight it?
But here we have it, making moves now. Crew, Cosmic Divide to give them just a bit of safety, but the salvo's going to be pushing the back anyway here. Verso needs to find a bit of a spot to try and plant into and stick this one all the way through. There's that extension forwards. Time has been bought, but in a 3v5, Steel Garden overlapped. The win cons are just dwindling right now for Crew. Small pocket to play in potentially here. Facing the challenge, Derek gets 2 with a bloody Bucky, and they are swarming EG. It's a 13-7 finish, a flourish towards the end here, and a 2-0 dismissal of KRU in an insane upset to secure their spot in the playoffs.
They came in today with one goal, to make it into the Stage 1 playoffs. And my God, they were explosive. The openings on both maps were utterly bonkers from EG.
Yeah.
It's not hurt KRU's chances of making playoffs too badly. They're going to be able to laugh this one off a little. Listen, maybe when we look back at this, if KRU miss out on Toronto, then we could talk about the impact for them. But the story today is all about EG.
Yeah.
And people are going to be looking at this result and thinking, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Was it EG playing well? Was it KRU playing badly? Can EG keep it up? Are they going to be able to take this and go on some kind of run? Because when you look at some of the players on the roster, the coaching staff, for example, you're thinking about 2023 and the ridiculous run they did there.
It's always there, isn't it?
It's always an echo in the back of the mind that Potter might be able to take a bunch of individuals and craft them into an excellent team. But my God, the form today and the ideas and the plan to counter KRU, it all came together.